Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Drycha Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign with Drycha. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I haven't heard anyone else pronounce it. But the brand new Wood Elf Legendary Lord from Mortal Empires. And so, if you enjoy the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out a ton. I am doing a Throt campaign right now at the same time. And I do have a Marcus Wolfheart campaign coming up soon as well. So, lots and lots of content coming for you. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. It's just $3 an episode for any campaign that you want to see, minimum 10 episodes. Or you can stop by the stream on YouTube starting around midnight Eastern Standard Time every night, usually going till about 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every night. We're usually playing League of Legends there. We might stream some Total War in the future, but I'm happy to talk about anything Total War related there that you want. Okay. So I was really hooked playing this. I just tried this out for fun while I was making the Skaven campaign and just decided I wanted to do it because it plays so differently from how the Wood Elves used to play in the past. It's a new location. It's just fantastic, and I really love the super aggressive playstyle to it. So I've probably played a few hours on it just to kind of test out some different builds, and it's going to be really solid. Okay, so upkeep minus 10% for all Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units. Plus 10% cost on Elves. You start with 1 Amber. Elves are glamored, so you can get the Elves, but basically they have a longer reload time and I think less melee attack until you get her to a higher level. And then she specifically can get some Elves that don't have that penalty, which is fine. I love the Spirit units more anyways. I love Durthu. He was my favorite one. He's way better than Orion in my opinion. Although Orion's cool. Like, no hate on Orion, but I just really like the Spirit units. The Elves, especially the melee Elves, I always found a little underwhelming. Then you get -5 public order for local enemy province. It's not going to matter too much. We're not going to be in enemy provinces for long. We're just going to burn them most of the time. Weapon strength, plus 10% for Dryad units, and then plus 5 melee attack for Dryad units. Then legendary campaign, very hard battle, which is as high as it goes. And then they have a new setting for chaos invasions, which I'm just going to call it legendary. I don't know what that does. So let's go ahead and get in here. Okay, so the new mechanics, and I'll show you when we get in there, it's all themed around finding these magical forests around the world, and I think all of the Elves are the same way now, where you find these forests and you restore them. So you get their health from 0 to 100, and you increase their health by either occupying the settlements that surround the forest, or by burning them, or by winning battles near them. And you'll lose if you lose properties. If someone has them occupied that's hostile to you, then you lose 1 point every turn. Or I think if you lose battles, I haven't lost a battle when I was practicing it, but if you lose battles, I think that you lose some too. So now it has this very aggressive style where you go out and find places, but you can teleport to these other forests on a cooldown. So you can be aggressive, but you're still also defending the forest because your little settlements don't give you anything extra anymore. So like it's nothing. Like it's almost not even worth getting the settlements unless you just really need to recruit or you need some replenishment or something. They don't give you any money.
Though you have been exiled from Athelloren.
So it's really not worth building them out. So you get most of your money just from burning, winning battles, and restoring the trees. So especially with her, you're going to be fighting a lot of the other Elves most of the time. I don't know her lore, but someone compared her to like the Hitler of Elves. I don't know if that's true or not, but she's supposed to be a really bad creature. To an extent, I mean, I think she's just trying to bring back everything in nature and get rid of humanity to some extent. So it just depends on whose side you're on. I think it's not quite as unilateral, like, hey, this is really evil as Hitler is. But yes, she does not like humanoid things. She wants everyone to return to nature. But I don't know the whole lore. So anyways, if you click on this, it lets you spot all of the other forests. And then you can travel over there every 10 turns on turn 10s. I haven't done this yet. I don't know, but I think it just teleports you. I don't know if it drops you right in the forest or like near the region. You can go to all of these different regions, and you try to take them from 0 to 100, so you don't have to run across the map. I really, really love this mechanic. I hope they bring it in with other factions because it's just Mortal Empires, like almost nobody completes. It paints the whole map. It takes 1 billion turns, and at a certain point in the campaign, you're gonna win, right? When you have like 1/3 of the map, even if you lose 5 battles back to back, you're going to win. Just no one's going to be able to take you out. So it just becomes a chore to try to finish it. So I really like these teleportation and shorter themed campaigns that are aimed for around 100 to 150 turns, I think is the sweet spot. And it should be a lot of aggression because we're going to be getting attacked from almost everybody around us at all times. So it's almost like you're playing, you know, this like tower defense survivor while you like bring back all of these forests. So if you do bring them back, you of course get the forest itself, which gives you a pretty good chunk of money. And then if you complete it all the way, as you can see, it gives you different buffs. So 80 to 100, this gives you 20% recruitment cost, minus 20% for all armies, and +1 local recruitment capacity. 20% campaign movement range on this one for all armies, so that's really good, and global recruitment capacity. I think they all give the global. If you can get Oak of Ages, then that gives you -4 for deep root teleportation and upkeep reduction and +50 growth. So that one's like really, really strong. That's difficult to take because there's a lot of elves obviously guarding that. This one gives 200 experience per turn. And you also get +4 health for Athel Lauren every turn. So the goal, I think, to win the whole campaign is to get Athel Lauren to 500. So you can get Athel Lauren beefed up without ever actually taking Athel Lauren. Over here you have 40 Winds of Magic, which is good. This one is Research, which is okay, kind of whatever. Casualty Replenishment, 12%. Feels like that should be at least 20. And then this one is Income from all buildings in all regions, 12%. So the big one, I feel like, is this campaign movement we can get to. But you can teleport around and sort of choose your own adventure. It's like, okay, you want to fight High Elves? We can go over here. You want to fight Dark Elves? We can go over here, right? You want to fight some Wizardman stuff? We can go down there. So it's great to kind of choose your own adventure and just how you want to, you know, move about. So I really, really like this design. Some people were saying the Skaven had a way better design. I disagree. Skaven's is cool, but this is completely revolutionary, I think, for the Wood Elves. It's going to make them much, much more fun to play. Okay, so she's themed around Dryads. Now, kind of like with the Greenskins, you can choose upgrades for them if you want. So you can give them these different aspects. Now, you can do it on the bigger stuff too, but it's more expensive. And usually, it just depends on which ones, but usually there's one that's like more aggressive, does more damage. There's almost always an aspect of the Willow that gives you good game versus infantry. An armor and your slower one, and then I don't know what you would call this one, just like faster and more damage for Birch. So like this one over here, it's 500 to upgrade him, and it's a similar setup, right? Oak and then Willow. And if you look at your tree, you have limited elf units, so you cannot get Way Watchers, you cannot get Sisters of the Thorn, and your other elves, like I said, have a penalty on them. However, now I don't know, you get, your spirit units are stronger. It says Malevolence. I don't know how much stronger they are than normal tree spirit units, but they are bigger, and you do have these new Zoats that are pretty cool. You get 2 free casts with them. I haven't tried them out yet, but you get like 4 free spells total, and they have this lowers magic resist and allows you to do more magic damage. Now these do magic damage too, so that's pretty handy. I think all of the yeah, all of them do. So lowering the magic resist by 22%. I think they can go negative on that. I'm not 100%. But if they can go negative, you would take extra damage. It might just remove what they have and not take them below 0. I'm not sure. But anyways, they're pretty good. They're expensive, but those are pretty solid. And then, of course, you have the dragons, which are kind of the big daddies. Now, this stuff is really expensive to upgrade. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played vanilla, but it's very expensive to upgrade these things, so you need to be very careful. Other things that they've changed, you can now get the Treekin. You can get better stuff at Tier 2. So you can get Treekin at Tier 2 now. You can get Eagles at Tier 2 instead of Tier 3. So it is more expensive to level it, and it takes more time, but there's better stuff available at Tier 2, which is pretty cool. Now here, you have to choose one of these. You cannot get all of them, but the Grapes Classic give you the most gold. However, if you do want to mess with Public Order or Trinkets or whatever, you can get this. Now that's +5 growth in all provinces, so... You know, once again, only the big trees matter. Your little settlements don't matter, as far as I can tell. Maybe ports matter. I'm not 100% about that. But the rest of the stuff doesn't seem to matter that much. And then Trapper's Den gives you growth and replenishment. So we're going to start off probably just going for the Grapevine. And the treemen are now only tier 3. And to be honest, I've never been that impressed with the treemen for their cost. They are lower cost too at 375, but they're kind of like giants. They just don't put up big numbers all the time, but they are pretty tanky. You can put them in front of like lords and things like that, and they are good on siege because they don't take up a lot of space. And they have sweeping attacks, so they're respectable, but I think they're much better suited as a tier 3, you know, 350 to 400 gold unit rather than being like a tier 5, you know, 500 plus gold unit. It's just not right. I think tier 5 is like the dragons. Those are really strong, and that's a tier 5 unit. But the rest of this stuff, I like how they've re-evaluated this. And so, like, you do have limited elves. We're not going to be getting a lot of elves. The Deepwood Scouts are still good. It only lowers the reload rate. It doesn't lower your damage, and usually you run out of ammo every fight with the elves anyways because they fire so fast, so it's not really that big of a deal. So we probably will get some Deepwood Scouts at some point. They do have Vanguard as well, which is really nice, and almost all of your units have Vanguard, so you can get on them pretty quickly, so that is handy as well. But okay, I guess we'll just hold on to the elf building for now. I sold it in the past if we needed money, but let's go ahead and get a fight in here, and I'll show off some of what's going on. So we're going to go ahead, and you do have this now. It's almost like Raised Dead for certain types of units. So this is all you can get, I believe. There might be some other things in other parts of the world. I'm not sure. But for now, you can get these new giant spiders that are pretty cool. They have 70 armor, so that's very good. They're better than your standard dogs, but they're not that much more expensive. They're only 138. That's a pretty good bargain, I think. And then you have Great Hawks. I have not tried these yet. So I don't know how these stack up to like the traditional birds you can get. It looks very similar, but there's more of them. Then, of course, you can get a Feral Manticore, which is really great for helping dual wards and you know, challenge ramparts and stuff like that on sieges. And you have bats, malevolent dryads, and giant wolves. And these are very good early on versus Empire because you can just flank around and really take out those crossbowmen and just run people down after the battle. Because we're not going to... There'll be some sieging, but a lot of it's just going to be like open field, ambushing people, and just fighting over property. Okay, so we're actually just going to go ahead and grab these two. And we'll throw him in there. The Way Watcher is not penalized, I don't believe. So we'll go ahead and throw him in there. And then we're going to go ahead and fight this guy. And then we'll go into more stuff here in just a second. Okay, so we do have a little bit more Skaven. We just have to neutralize these Poison Wind Globadiers. And then we should be good to go. Now, we could have maybe hired a couple more. Each time you go into a new local area, there's going to be more stuff you can hire, just like Raised Dead. But I think it's not as strong. It's like more of an early game thing, because with Raised Dead, you can get tier 5 units and stuff later on in the game. It's really beast mode. I love Vampire Counts, by the way, if anyone wants to sponsor Vampire Count campaign. I did one a little while ago with Kimler, which was really fun. But I don't know why. I just really like the vibe of like hyper aggressive stuff, and I just think these Raised Dead type of factions are really good, and stuff that has some protection against backdoor. You have the Vampiric Corruption, which helps. That's also why I love Skaven. Just big masses of units that just get in there, tear stuff up. So pretty much everybody has Vanguard, which is really nice. I got some normal archers, and it just feels really bad to have them start so far behind you. Okay, so we need to start here.
Waystalker ready.
Oh, I forgot their reinforcements are coming in from a good ways away. Okay, so we'll do here. 2, we'll go right here. And remember, the main goal is neutralize the Globadiers. If we deal with the Globadiers, everything else should be all good. Those Globadiers have to go. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put these together. It's just easier to micro them that way. And let me just go ahead and take this off so that they will chase after they break. And she's a pretty good fighter. She has a little bit of spell casting. It's shadows. We're not going to use it that much. We're going to go for beast magic.
Attack. instructions.
Keep firing on them.
Your orders.
Those have to go.
End them. Immediately.
This weakness is very nice, though, for taking down lords. Run them down. Do not let those run. Do not let them rally.
Bowman ready for Eldridge.
I think they should be gone. They're shattered, yeah. Are they kill? Oh, those are my summoned trees. Okay.
Archers ready.
And all of your units cause fear, too. So. Where are my other dogs? Okay. What? Why did he run out? Okay, she took a bit more damage than I would like.
Bows of Athelard. Aye.
These things do have a lot of like missile resist or physical resist or something going on. Alright, so that's their lord. Alright, so we are going to have to run these dudes down. Am I going to be able to get those? Just Skaven slaves. We're not really like super well positioned to get a lot of these units, but we need to try to kill as many as we can because some of those are garrison and the other ones are going to get to run away, so I think that removes speed, does it? No, it's just melee attack and defense. It's pretty good against lords. Night runners are the really problematic ones. And clan rats are obviously going to be pretty good. Oh, is he? He is glamored, isn't he? Yeah, he is glamored actually. But yeah, it's just 5. They have +8 leadership, which is good. but -5 melee attack, and they are expendable, which means if they die, then no one cares in your army. Like Skaven slaves. Which is cool. Okay, so a lot of this garbage is getting away. We might have to fight this again. We'll see. Clan rats are better than slaves. Just get a couple there. Alright. But yeah, I mean, the problem with, like, traditional, in my experience, I really want, like, the war dancers and stuff to be good, but traditionally, they have, like, high melee attack and high defense, but they have really low health pool, really low armor, and they just get busted up. I don't know. It's just, like, it just has not ever really felt good in the past. The best combos that I've seen in the past would be, like, Way Watchers plus, you know, big tanks in front of them, like Treekin, and then dragons and stuff like that. So we won't have the Way Watchers. We can do the Deepwood Scouts eventually, which are not the same as Way Watchers, but they're still pretty good. Now there was something that showed like that maybe we could get dark magic or high magic at some point. So maybe there's special buildings that let us hire cool stuff. I'm not sure, because there are technologies that interact with high magic and dark magic. So maybe we can get different kinds of units in those places. I'm not sure. 8% replenishment is pretty good. I mean, 295 is not much. Replenishment is kind of hard to come by, not like super difficult, but I think we'll go ahead and do this just so we can kind of keep moving. Okay, he can't run. It's weird. If he had dodged or what. So we just want to fight. So you can see here we got 2 health, but we are getting, does it say what we're getting per turn here? It doesn't say now, but every red unit, yeah, here you go. Every red unit is -1 per turn. So that's someone who's at war with you, and then you get 0 for the other units, and then it's +1 for everything that you that's either burned or that you own. So you can get up to +6 per turn. She took a bit more damage than I want. I think post-battle loot, this is really important to manage your cost, because especially on legendary, it's +15% for each additional army, and we're gonna need 1 army for each forest that we control, probably, unless we somehow befriend the neighbors, which I don't think is gonna happen. So it's difficult. Now, this you can upgrade your monsters. It doesn't look like you can get any other monsters, but the giant hawks and things like that. Extra armor piercing. Speed doesn't matter. Charge bonus doesn't matter that much. So it's okay. It's not that crazy. Shadow magic. We're going to get the branch wraiths to do most of our magic. And they have better magic. Shadow is one of the weaker schools. So your choice really comes down to, do you want to go blue tree, get this, which is income from raising, raiding, and post-battle loot. It's all very good. This is actually quite nice. Ambush success chance, because there are certain events that show up near your forest, which is kind of cool too, where you have to go and try to do those events. Or they get like a big army and attack you. So it's almost like you have like rebellions that show up every now and then. So that's actually pretty good. And that's just how you're going to defend a lot of stuff. She has Master Ambusher. I think she personally, I don't know if other people have that as well, the stance. But you can do it with only 10% movement speed left. You can ambush. So that's pretty handy. So that's actually like quite good for her playstyle. And you get 10%. And I think if you ambush in a forest, which there's going to be a lot of forests around where our magical forests are. And it also, obviously, in the magical forest itself, there's a lot of different buffs that different units get when you're in the forest. So that's pretty good. And then that doesn't matter so much. Open branches, okay, whatever. And then you've got this for basically 30% extra magical item chance, which is obviously good. Replenishment's good. And now as elves, I don't think you had this before, but now you have Quartermaster plus whatever this is called with other factions, the 8% upkeep and just a bunch of other good stuff. So you get 24% reduction. So that's why I think going blue is the place to be. Other options, you could go for the Dryad upgrade, which is nice early, and then Ancient Bark for the armor and the physical resist on Treemen and Treekin. So that's really good, but I think the money is going to be the big issue. Inspiring Presence is nice, but I think we're going to go with this. And then over here, Eye of Kurnos is probably where we want to be. We do have 1 battalion of archers, and we might get a few more. Once again, the reload time, as long as you use all of your ammo in a fight, it doesn't matter, really. I mean, it's slower to come out, so you're going to, you know, they're going to hit you with more units beforehand, but especially if you're just firing on archers a lot, it's probably not going to matter. Okay, then we're going to hit this up. And we'll just auto-resolve it. Okay, so you get very little. Well, there's just no buildings there hardly. You get Sword of Strife. Alright. Level up again. And now your options are, you can clear the Heathland, so you burn it, you get 1330, and then you get +5. And if it stays burned, you still get +1 per turn. Or you can occupy it. You can stabilize the public order with how it currently works, and you get 1 per. And you can build a little building in there. But the only buildings there are, and I'm going to burn this, but I'm going to explain the buildings real quick. There's one where it's like, you get the surrounding local regions, not for the whole province, but this surround this one local place. You get 15% post-battle loot and 50% extra burn money. All of them cost 500 gold. So if, like, maybe you would do that if you're going to hit a big capital, and you think that you're going to get a really, like, high-quality burn, like, maybe you do that. But for this small stuff, it's probably not worth. You can sack. Now, I don't know if you can sack and clear. I doubt you can sack and clear on the same turn. But this is good if you think they're going to hit you back, like, next turn. Because if you burn, you can't move anymore that turn. But if you sack, you can run away. So that's maybe decent for a hit and run. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and clear. Oh, the other one, there's one that gives, like, 10% replenishment if you're in there. The one that gives you the extra raise money and the post-battle loot allows you to hire the Dryads. There's another one that recruitment cost is -50%, but you can only hire archers off of it, like baseline archers, which, once again, aren't that great because the rest of your army's going to be Vanguard, and those aren't, and it just feels really awkward. But anyways, we'll go ahead and clear the Heathland. So the clearing gives you the best. It's 5, and we're going to get an upgrade that's going to give us 10. Clear it. And it kind of baits them a lot of times. They'll try to go and reoccupy it, and if they do, you just clear it again, and you can keep, you know, get money off of it. Okay, so we knock them out of there. Now the technology. The amber, you only get an amber by healing a tree. Gifted. I don't know if you can get a technology. I don't know how you get one gifted to you. I don't know, whatever would give. I didn't see any that gave amber. Maybe if, like, you do a quest or something, you can get some. But anyways, now you can use amber on these powerful abilities here. It's permanently, so there's no penalty for going spirits or going elves, so I'm glad they changed that. I know they were trying to theme it around, like, hey, play spirits with Durthu, hey, play elves with Orion, but it was just a really clunky system, and you could only use half of the roster. So I like it now how, like, with her, there's a penalty if you use the elves, but you can still get them, and there are, like, certain technologies and other things you can do to minimize that penalty, but she can't hire she just straight up can't hire Way Watchers or Sisters of the Thorn. So I like the new system. And this feels like really rewarding when you complete one of these forests, because these are all pretty good. So you've got this is 20% for your monsters, and then your big treeman units just permanently do AoE damage. So that's pretty handy. This one, 25 growth everywhere and -1 recruitment duration, so you can get stuff faster. That's really nice for global. This right here, 15% upkeep for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman. That's massive, big money. And construction time for buildings. Some of these buildings are like 8 turns. This would save you 2 turns on that. So that's really nice too. Missile resist for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman, pretty good. 5% replenishment in foreign territory. Feels a little lackluster. Feels like it should be at least 10%, but is what it is. Extra 35% ammo and plus 10 diplomatic relations for all factions, so that's okay. Poison, and you get extra 15% extra reload. That's a little lackluster because once again you're going to use all your ammo, so the reload, it gives you faster DPS or faster damage, but it doesn't increase your total damage in a fight. So 35% ammo does if you use all your ammo, so that's pretty good. This one, Stalk for giant wolves and spider units. They already have Stalk, or maybe it's just with her or my faction they have Stalk, I'm not sure. And they get Death Blow, which is like when they're about to die, Treekin and Treeman, and they do extra damage. And that's one of the worst ones. This right here. This, I think you have to rush this. This is what I'm going to rush. Last time I went for the discount, but this is so good. Like, you get 5 extra health for burning heathlands, and that's massive because you're trying to get to 100 and you're always losing some because people are going to be retaking properties and things like that, and every time you burn you're getting 10, so you really just have to get 10 burns and you get there so much faster. It just really, and when you're clearing all the other forests too, it just massively accelerates how fast you can get this campaign done. And the vigor loss reduction melee for infantry units is also really big. Melee infantry units, so that's, I don't know if that counts monsters. It would definitely count dryads. I don't know if it counts treekin or not, but it definitely counts dryads, and it'll count all of your little critters, your wolves, your spiders, and stuff like that. So I think that that's really good. So they're called monstrous infantry, the treekin, so it has infantry in the title. Either way, it doesn't matter. Even if it only read +5 for raising, you need to do it. It's really, really good. So that's what we're going to do. That's my opinion on it. Now, this is very good, too. Later on your lords, you get 4 free casts of Flock of Doom. That's like 24 extra mana, so that's really good. And -1 for all Lore of Beast spells. So that's extremely good because I think Flock of Doom usually costs 6. That'll move it down to 5. Flock of Doom is extremely strong, especially in vanilla. Income from settlements +10, extremely weak, not worth. So those are basically it. And then as far as the other techs go, they're similar, but I highly recommend going south. You can get this, which gives you, provides line of sight over all magical forest regions, so you can see them. I guess they can see you too. And then this one is 1 extra health for winning battles on magical forests or their heathlands. So once again, anything that speeds this up is going to be good. This gives your Great Eagles and your Hawk Riders an extra 5 bonus versus large, which is pretty good, and 10% missile strength for all missile units, and -10% for Lore of Beasts, which is what we're going to be rolling with. So very, very good technology. Whenever you 20% ambush, we talked about how much that's going to come into play, so that's good. And then you get defensive penalties at the beginning of an ambush battle. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. Once again, even if it was just 20% ambush, you need to get it. It's very good for this playstyle. Elf infantry, kind of bad. I mean, we're not going to do that too much. Now, that does not say melee infantry, so 10% physical resist for like the Deepwood archers could be good in theory. Leadership for elves, post-battle loot. So this is a little bit less compelling. This is where it starts to get kind of elfy. Casualty replenishment +10%. So that's good. Winds of magic. Now this right here, this is what has me interested. -10% for Lore of Dark Magic spells. I don't know anything that has Lore of Dark Magic right now. You can only choose Beasts, Shadow, or Life with the normal Dryads. So there might be a special building we can get in the future that allows us to hire something different. I don't know. So that's kind of cool. We'll see where that goes. And then this is extra diplomacy with Dark Elves and Winds of Magic cost -1 for Lore of Shadows, Lore of Dark Magic. So once again, that sounds kind of weird. Maybe if we take over the forest that's up in the north, it gives us dark magic stuff. That'd be kind of cool. And then this If you have everything, then all elves cause fear. All your tree spirits already cause fear. Okay, so that just seems really bad. But nevertheless, like, until you get to here, like, these first... Oh, we need this one first, and then we go down through here. This is amazing. And then this stuff, this is more elf thing. War of Shadows we already have. Campaign movement is good. Replenishment. War of Life. We're not going to use a ton of that, but a little bit. Ward recruit rank. Income from ports. Now this can be very good if we get a lot of ports. That might be a way to get some money. Upkeep for elves. If we have a bunch of archers, it could be good. Hunting buildings. So this is pretty weak. Now this does minus 10% to lore of high magic and extra stuff with elves. So maybe we can get high magic. I don't know. Starting winds of magic, and then +1 for all owned magical forests. So that's not heathlands, it's just forests. So yeah, the text starts to fall off quite a lot, but early game, this stuff is really, really good, and these things, most of these are pretty good. So lots of stuff to look forward to there. Alright, so that's all burned out. What can we get here? We can get one more Malevolent Dryad. I don't think we need it, though. We can just hold on to it. It doesn't go anywhere. And then, let's see, with her, I think we're just going to try to get the money going. I do like Inspiring Presence, but I'm just going to greed out a little bit, go for this money. Sorry, the future episodes will be faster. I just try to explain everything in this first episode because I know there will be people that just see it and want to go immediately play. And so I don't want to hold out on you. Okay, so we're just going to go max money here. That, and upgrade this. And we just want to get the branch rates. And then these are pretty cheap with the discounts. They're only $225. And they're really strong. Now, they don't have much melee attack, but you can augment them to give them some extra stuff. So... pretty good. Alright, so we go with that. You have this, but you need extra lords for this to matter. It's kind of like the old system where your lord just gets different kinds of buffs, so I won't spend a ton of time on that. And then, yeah, no one likes us. Maybe other elves, but the problem is, like, for elves to like you, you have to kill everyone around them. I mean, maybe if I roll up and I just kill everybody, maybe the elves will confederate without me having to siege their towns. That would be really cool, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, and I think that's good. We can't move anymore. Okay. And we can't dash. All right, we're good. So yeah, just burn. Like I said, if it's a developed town, like a tier 3 or a tier 4 town, maybe you occupy and get the thing that gives you 50% on burns. And then you can burn it. And I believe you can abandon a property, too, at some point. You still get +1 every turn for occupying it. %25 vigor loss reduction, by the way. Most factions that give you like some kind of vigor loss reduction skill on your lord, like the dwarves and chaos and things like that, it's 15%. So 25 is actually a really big buff. It's almost double the normal vigor loss reduction. So it shows that. It does not show the vigor loss reduction though. But if it does show the fire resist and we know it applies to them, actually no, that was a separate thing. This always applies to treekin and stuff, but the vigor loss reduction, it doesn't say strong vigor. I don't know if it has that tag in this. That's an SFO. But anyways, okay. So we're going to hit up Eshin here. I don't think they have anything there, so that should just be easy mode. Actually, they do have a few units, but I'm going to try to save as much money as I can. I think we can win with this without having to do anything extra. Now, if you burn everything, it does make it more difficult to replenish. So, that's something to keep in mind. These are going to be annoying to deal with without proper things. We might need just a little bit more. see what we have here. Got some bats or something, maybe. Yeah, we can get. I mean, the bats are really fast. They're not gonna be able to kill them, but maybe keep them busy. Or like the wolves are pretty good too. The wolves are like better, but they're also more expensive. Okay, I think we can go for an extra of these, and then maybe. It's gonna be expensive. I think we're good. We'll at least go to that. Okay, I think this should be good. I mean, I guess that is a lot of archers. Can 2 wolves handle all those archers plus these things? Okay, well, let me get the bats. Let's get the bats and we'll do it. We'll get 1 bat. And I can fly around the pistoliers and maybe just kind of shake them up a bit. Alright. Maybe I should be going for the ambusher thing instead of the money on burns. Sorry, I just need a bit of a snack. It's kind of late night. Hope that's not too annoying. Just flying the bats around too, just flying them around like the crossbows, is just really annoying, like, for them to deal with. Okay, so these need to target fire the pistoliers.
They will die! At once!
I think all of those units are faster, so. They don't even have a board or anything.
Children of Isha! Attack!
They're shattered.
I! Athol Lauren!
Pistoliers, man, they just will not run.
As
Crap.
you command!
Hawkeye, as you say.
These like rally backs. We're gonna need a little bit of replenishment here. Gosh, they're all like running away and then rallying back.
Our bows are yours!
I mean, I need to drop back by the forest anyways to hire some tree kin when those come up, so not a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, the bats just don't do very much, but they are a lot cheaper, so... We got the upgrade, so it should give us 10. But it's not going to change probably that tooltip. Should be giving us plus 10. Yeah, battles plus raising. The 20% post-battle loot's pretty big, and the money, we're not going to be raising that much, probably, but... The ambush, especially for these, like, events, can be pretty important. How much are we getting right now? 5% post-battle loot, so every 1,000 post-battle loot, I could have had 150 extra gold. I'm gonna go with this though, just to make sure. She can't move either. Or he. Reload reduction time. I think I'm just gonna go with piercing shots for now. Right, and then next turn we should have a bit more. That's too expensive for now. And not having that upkeep reduction is definitely feeling it, but I'm hoping that getting this up faster is going to be a good perk. Alright. Maybe should have gotten rid of the bats. Not 100% about that. I don't know. It's possible the Heath is greedy. Like going for the extra Heath. Forest Hungers. Okay, yeah, so this is one of those events I was talking about. Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Oh dang, really? Resplendence of Luminescence. 10% damage and 5 extra melee. That's really good. And they lose 25% magical resist. Dang. That is pretty beast. We can get 2 of these. How? They're 275 a turn. We could go ahead and start leveling up 2 of them. I mean, or just spamming more beast. Usually I run out of magic though. They've nerfed life magic over time. Oh, I thought that was permanent. That's a hex. Mine has 16 leadership. I'm like, oh my god, is that permanent? But basically, I'm pretty sure Flock of Doom still does about the same amount of damage. They've nerfed it since like season 1 or since like the initial game. But it still has no cap on the amount of units it can affect. And I think it does around like 1,000 damage on average. There's no caps. You can hit like 4 or 5 units with it. Versus the main thing used to spam here, Earthblood, now is capped at 4. So the maximum effect you're going to get out of this is going to be somewhere like around like 1,200. Now if you upgrade it, you can get 2,400 use. I don't know what upgraded Flock of Doom is. It might be 2,000 upgraded. I can't remember. But either way, like if you just... I guess you can always hit 4 allies probably. But even if you just like unupgraded, I'm pretty sure those numbers are correct. If you just hit like 2 enemies, then it's worth hitting 4 allies with this. Now, healing is stronger because, you know, they have to cut back through your armor and your resist and all that stuff to cancel out the healing that you give. So, they're both really good, but I just feel like Flock of Doom, especially on sieges, where you can hit like 5 or 6 units off of it, particularly in the early game, is huge. And you can also get the I'm blanking out on the name, the Manticore thing, which is good, and the Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, I believe. The extra speed is pretty nice, and the physical resist, so that can help like us charge potential elves, and just get in there and get on that back line. So it's all right, but yeah, it's mostly just for Flock of Doom spam. But I mean, life, it's hard to turn down life. Life is still extremely good. Earthblood is still very good, but I think with a lot of our big units, they have so much HP anyways that is 300 really going to matter on a Treeman that has 9,000? I mean, maybe, but you know, 1,000 damage on some infantry that only has 8,000 health is a bigger deal. So anyways, we're gonna go with this thing, and this is a very good buff too, so we want that for sure. And then we want some Treekin. I think I can get like 2. Comfortably get 2. That's gonna be about 600 upkeep, so we should be good on that. Then we might end up getting rid of some of these other things, but I think 2 Treekins probably a good amount. You can get some really good buffs on them too, and we can beef them up too with a little bit of extra gold. Now, like I said, the money's kind of a problem because we're greeding out and going for the heat. But... Oh, did we get the... I don't remember if we got the grapes yet or not. We should get those soon. Huh. If you don't get to this in 3 turns, it materializes. So it's kind of like almost like a timed rebellion. That's another reason the movement speed thing I think would be really good. Did we get the Okay, yeah, we got the grapes. I forgot they have replenished troops also. Okay, we got the ambush. Whoa! Holy, this was way stronger than last time when I did this in the practice. Jesus, that's like tier 5 cav. Or tier 4 at least, the fire cav. Good thing we got that immunity to fire. Or at least it cancels out our weakness to fire. Okay, now what is this? Oh yeah, bonus. Alright, let's do it. Oh crap. Well, we're gonna go over time. I really need to keep these to an hour. I don't usually do this, but... Sorry, I didn't mean to cliffhanger you guys, but I think, I just wasn't looking at the clock. I think I might just go ahead and just clip it here and start the next episode. So we'll just start off right, like, literally loaded into the fight. Huh. There's some weird pathing here. But yeah, we'll start off next time because I don't want to scare people off with hour-long plus videos, so we need to keep it 45 to an hour. Yeah, we'll get back in here next time. We'll start off with this fight. We do have a good positional advantage, so that should stop a lot of their shenanigans. Now, these also, Outriders cannot fire while they're running away, and I believe they're a little bit slower than Pistoliers. So the Wolves and the Bat crew should be able to deal with them. And then hopefully we can just tie up the rest of them. But anyways, we'll get back in there next time. So, as always, thank you very much. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Just $3 an episode. Pretty good deal for some personalized content. And otherwise, I'll see you next episode. Have a good day.